Hi, guys. Welcome to our podcast, Heard Stories by HerZWave. We are on a mission to amplify women and women identifying voices in music and tech. Today, I'm so excited to be joined by an amazing pop artist and my dear friend from NYU, Riese. Riese is a singer-songwriter whose music is raw, emotional, and honest. At 22, she was diagnosed with stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma and spent almost 3 years in treatment, and through it all, music became her outlet. Now, 4 years cancer free, she's turning that experience into beautiful songs like her recent singles, Aftermath, Ninth Life, and Could Have Been Me. She successfully crowdfunded her first EP, which is set to be released on November 21st, and is building this incredible community around her story. We are going to talk about life, healing, and finding your voice as a woman in music. Please welcome Reese.
Oh my god, that was so sweet. Thank you.
Of course. So I'm gonna start with my first question. Your music is incredibly personal, especially your recent singles. What was the moment you knew you were ready to share those songs with the world?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like honestly a lot sooner than I am actually releasing them. It's been maybe 5 years for some of them since I wrote them. I feel like I was really honestly ready to put them out. Honestly, I probably if I could have recorded them and fully produced them at the time that I was writing them, I probably would have. I just didn't really have the self-assurance. I also didn't have the funds or the energy to do it during cancer treatment, but I feel like if I had, I would have put it out.
I listened to all of them and I love them. I can't wait
Thank
for your review.
you. Oh my god, thank you.
Yeah. So you went through such an intense journey battling cancer at such a young age. How did music help you process everything you were feeling during that time?
I feel like it was really my journal. I did journal. I did keep a journal, but also writing the songs was just a way for me to process how I was feeling and get it out. And a lot of the songs I wrote with other people. And so also just having those conversations with my co-writers, my amazing co-writers, and being able to have them validate how I was feeling and help me put it into words was also just so healing for me.
That's amazing. So in Could Have Been Me, you touch on survivor's guilt, something so rarely talked about. How have you learned to carry that while still allowing yourself to celebrate life and healing?
Oh my gosh, such a hard question. I feel like, there are certainly days where I feel like I'm not doing a good job of carrying it and letting myself, continue to live my life. But I think for me right now, it's just a matter of acknowledging when I feel it, acknowledging that it's totally normal to feel that way. It's just normal when you've lived through something that other people haven't to feel guilty that you're alive and they're not. And I think just being able to accept that I'm feeling that is healing and allow myself to feel it.
As a woman navigating the music industry independently, what challenges have you faced and what have you learned about owning your voice and story?
Such a good question. I feel like I've at least so recently, I've just learned so much about what goes into the back end of releasing a record independently. There's just so much that I did not know before doing this. This is my first ever EP that I'm putting out, and I've just learned, everything that goes into it from recording, producing, funding it, all of the content. I'm learning a lot about making content and social media, how to run that. I do not know what I'm doing, but I'm figuring it out as I go. There's just so much. And yeah, I feel like I'm continuing to learn. I think another thing that I have faced and I'm still learning is just advocating for myself in this industry. You really have to advocate for yourself, like, no one else is gonna do it for you, and I think that was a lesson that I learned in making my Kickstarter, because that was really scary for me. I considered doing a Kickstarter for probably 3 years before I actually uploaded it. I just sat on it because I was like, I feel privileged in my life in many, many ways, and I was like, "Why would I deserve to do this? Why would anyone contribute?" And my therapist really pushed me to do it. Actually. And yeah, it just was a really beautiful reminder that, when you ask, sometimes the answer will be yes. You just have to ask the question actually and, you know, put yourself out there.
I love this. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. And this is honestly such a great transition into my next question, which is about your
Okay.
Kickstarter.
Okay,
Um,
amazing. Perfect.
so, what and maybe you, like, touched on some of these things, but what did that experience teach you about community, vulnerability, and the business side of being an artist?
It really taught me that my community is out there. I just had to find it. Just do it. Just upload, ask people for what you want because why not? It worked. And I still to this day, honestly, like can't believe it sometimes that it worked and that people really came through for me in that way. But I am so grateful and it was so beautiful to see. And I feel like a lesson that I keep learning beyond my Kickstarter is that it's okay to be vulnerable, and it actually is a really powerful and beautiful thing to be vulnerable. It is really scary for me still. I played a show last night, and I was playing for a room of people I didn't know. No one knew that I had cancer, and when I shared that, I felt so crazy for a second. A lot of jaws dropped visibly in the room, and it freaked me out a little, but at the same time, it was really rewarding because I think that it really meant a lot to people that I was sharing that, and, there were some tears shed, and, I can just tell that it is moving sometimes to people to see that.
Yeah, I agree. I was talking to my friend, like, literally the other day, and my mom, how, like, authenticity is so important. I went to a show yesterday, and it's not so much about, like, sharing your story, but
Yeah,
just being authentic to yourself, embracing entirely who you are. That makes such a difference as an artist because people can kind of sense it, and you can
yeah,
and, like, even I went to that show yesterday, it was, like, a completely
yeah,
different show to yours, completely
yeah.
different music because it was, like, a rock concert. But he's, like, so authentic to himself and, like, his own art, and you can, like, feel it, and it was such a good show.
Yeah,
Um, so
I
yeah.
totally agree, I feel like you can tell. I don't know if it's an energy thing, I don't know, but people can tell when you're not being yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It's so important. But
Yeah,
the thing is, I feel like so many artists these days aren't really themselves. It's kind of, like, rare to find
yeah,
that kind of artist, and yeah.
yeah. Well, this is an interesting thing. I took a class with this professor, Kwame Coleman, while I was at NYU, and I'll never forget. It was a class about performance and authenticity, or maybe that was just one of the topics that we explored. But one of the things he said to me was, we're always performing in a way. Like when we're with one friend versus another, like we can be performing like a different facet of our personalities at any given point. And I just thought that was a really interesting thing to think about, like, what actually does it mean to be authentic and what is your truest self, Because I do relate to that, like, I feel like with some people, it's not that I'm different, it's just that I different people bring out different parts of you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. I fully
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah, isn't that interesting to think about?
Yeah. So my next question, it's about social media,
Okay.
which plays such a big role for artists today.
Yeah.
How do you balance being authentic and vulnerable online with protecting your own peace and privacy?
I don't think I've figured that out quite yet. I mean, to be fair, like, I will never share anything that I really truly feel like I should not be sharing. I think that I'm still figuring out what to post, how to use social media in the best way for me, and I don't think I've quite figured it out. Has anyone? I don't know, but yeah, I think I'm learning every day when I'm posting on TikTok, just trying I'm just posting every day, trying to be myself and also share what I wanna share in the most authentic way possible, and I'm still learning what that looks like for me.
Mm, yeah, me too. So, you said music kept you going through everything. So now that you've reached 4 years NED, what kind of stories or sounds are inspiring you in this next chapter?
Yes, I've really just started writing new music. I'm so excited to be working on new music finally, and I think I'm just well, first of all, I'm inspired by so many artists that I've been listening to lately. Chloe Kisha, I've been loving her. And I think I'm also just, as always, inspired by what I'm feeling today. And sometimes I am feeling things related to cancer even still. Like, I feel like it's something that I'll always be, it's a part of me no matter what. And so there's always going to be things that I have to say about it. and I don't think I have said everything that I want to say about it, that's for sure. You can only say so much in 5 songs, you know what I mean? So, I'm sure I will have more to say about my experience with cancer and healing and what life has been like after. But I also, want to write about other things as well. I want to write about my relationships, my grappling with self-doubt. That's a big thing for me. Yeah, whatever comes up. I haven't written on this yet, but I actually did another I was talking to someone yesterday, and I have a new song coming out on Wednesday called I'd Rather Be Boring. And this song is about how I don't want to be known just for having had cancer and how that's a fear of mine, that's always going to be the headline. Girl who had cancer. That's just always been a fear since I was diagnosed. And this girl asked me, if I don't want to be remembered for cancer, what do I want to be remembered for? And I was like, damn, you'd think I would have thought about that, but it's a hard question to answer, and I wanna do some thinking about that and write about that.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah. It's a really daunting question, yeah.
Yeah, wow. Okay. So, what does empowerment mean to you today, both as a woman and as an artist?
I think for me, empowerment right now means getting to share my truth and what I've been through and talk about cancer freely and put out these songs independently and not have anyone tell me I can't. And it's not that I don't love a good breakup song. I've certainly written many of those or, songs about relationships and dating and all of that. I do. It feels like a real privilege in a sense to be able to write pop music about an illness right now. It seems like a crazy thing, but yeah, I think it's empowering for me to be able to share it. It was empowering for me to be able to write the songs, and hopefully the songs are empowering for other people who have gone through cancer or similar feelings, whatever it may be.
Yeah, for sure. And one of my last questions is, what are you looking forward to in the near future?
I'm playing an EP release show on November 21st, the same night that my EP comes out. So I'm getting ready for that and I'm so excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm gonna be in town then, so I'll come to it.
Yeah. Oh my God, please come. I would love to see you.
I have, like,
Yeah.
a few super quick questions.
Yeah.
And which woman inspires you the most?
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm inspired by so many women. I love Brene Brown. She's like an emotion researcher. I believe she's a professor at UT Austin, and she's just like a brilliant writer and speaker and researcher. And she talks about vulnerability and owning your story and the power of that. And I am just super inspired by her and her work. And if I wasn't doing music, I would probably be going into that field.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Um, wow. So what's the first thing you do when you wake up?
Scroll.
Oh my gosh, same. I hate that about myself, but that's exactly
Same.
what I do.
Oh, it's so bad, it's so bad. I wish I could say it was like getting up and doing 50 push-ups, but it's not.
No, same. Same. Um,
More recently, after I scroll and go to the bathroom and, like, wash my face, I have become addicted to making matcha. So that feels like a bit of a healthier habit that I've
wait,
doing.
same. I make
Yeah?
matcha. Yes.
Oh my
Yes, I've
god.
been doing that for, like, honestly, like, at least a year now, and
Oh
because I
my god.
love matcha.
Okay, I'll have to hit you up for your recs
Please,
because I'm new to it.
please. And
Yeah.
well, if you know any cool matcha places in New York, though, I would love to know too, because I'm always on the lookout.
Okay, we
We
will
can go
text.
together when I'm in the
Yes,
city.
I would love.
Um, so that's a great transition to my next question. Your favorite bubble tea flavor?
Oh, my favorite bubble tea flavor ever? Oh my god, there's also so many. One that I will shout out because I love before my matcha obsession, I was a pretty much a decaf girl, and boba guys, they have I think it's a hibiscus berry decaf tea, and it's so good, and you can get it with boba, and I love it.
One song by another artist you wish you wrote?
So many, so many. I would say anything Julia Michaels has written. I'm gonna say Rainbow by Casey Musgraves.
Oh, I've never
Yeah,
listened to it.
it's a really It's just a beautiful song, and her lyrics are just amazing.
I'm gonna listen to it after.
Yeah, that's one of the songs that I listen to a lot during cancer treatment.
How come? What is it about?
It's so the tagline is that there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head, and it's just a beautiful sentiment of, like, just, like, look around, like, things are okay.
Mm. My last question is that what was the best advice you've ever received that stuck with you?
The best advice I've ever received is that all of my feelings are valid and that it's okay to feel them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, this was so fun.